What's up, everybody? I just wanted to go ahead and share my thoughts on the last fight that just happened, Pacquiao versus Bradley. First of all, I have to point out that there was no freaking way possible that Bradley won that fight. And the problem with this particular fight is that this fight points out the question of the integrity of the sport, because it's just unreal to even think that how could you give that fight to Bradley, man? It's just you have to seriously be blind, not to even a blind person probably would have been able to know that Pacquiao won that fight. It's just unreal, man. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, I kind of feel like, I've been kind of cheated out of my money, man, because it's like I paid for the fight, and in all reality, I guess I paid for a fake fight. It's just it's like it kind of makes me okay, I kind of want my refund, dude. It's fucking unreal, man. How do you give that fight to freaking Bradley? You know what? Even that one round that Bradley actually won, or that they gave to Bradley, personally, I don't even know how the fuck he even got that round. It's just, you could even make the argument that Pacquiao won all the rounds, and you could and you still think that Bradley won that fight? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I once saw the same thing happen with Erislandy Lara and Paul Williamson. This did not happen that long ago. All right. And maybe about a year ago or something like that. That's when the fight happened. And the same shit happened. Alright? The same thing. It's like Erislandy Lara won maybe 9 rounds to 3 against Paul Williams. And they gave the fight to Paul Williams. Alright? And it's just, you have to point out the integrity. Integrity is what the big issue is here. Erislandy Lara won the fight. Okay? And I remember when I saw that fight, I said to myself, I hope I never see something like that again. As a fan, I don't ever want to see something like that, because it makes me not want to watch the fight. It makes me not want to watch boxing, all right? Because you never know, when the fight is going to get bought out, or when it's going to be rigged, or when, it's going to be fake, okay? And with this particular fight, it's just the magnitude of this fight was so much bigger. The possibility of Pacquiao and Mayweather, even though it didn't seem like it was going to happen, and for a second there, I thought it was never going to happen. The fact is that as fans, you played with the possibility of it happening, and so it kept me interested. And now, because of this happening, because of the fact that Pacquiao lost the way that he lost, it's kind of like it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? That it has to come down to this. Not to mention the fact that it was so obvious. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you, if you're going to do something that's shady like that, at least try to seem like, you're trying to get away with it. But it's just, for you to do it the way that you did, in all our faces, it happened, live, bro. It's like right before my eyes. I was like, holy shit, are you shitting me? You know what I'm saying? Unreal, man. It's just, it's so wrong in so many levels, man. It's like, how do you take such a rich history sport like boxing, the greats, the many greats like Duran and Ali and Foreman and Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson, freaking more Trinidad, even Felix Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez, De La Hoya, more recently Mayweather, Pacquiao, Cotto, all these people, man. How do you take such a rich history sport, one that ranks, one that rubs shoulders with sports of that of like soccer or baseball, with the Yankees and the Red Sox back in the days and 100 years, I don't know how many years ago. How do you take such a rich history sport like boxing and do something so wrong to it like that? And then not to mention, you do it on a pay-per-view event where the fans have spent their money to see such a big fight like that, because it was a really good fight. Much credit to Pacquiao. He literally made Bradley look like an amateur. I mean, it's crazy. I was a skeptic of the guy. Maybe he does take PEDs. I don't know. But that's the thing, because I don't know. I mean, I like to think that there's a possibility because, you know, and all this and that and all that craziness, but we really don't know, and that's the truth. You can't, it's innocent until proven guilty. All right, so he's still innocent about that. Much credit to Bradley. He came in there, he did his thing, he brought it. But I ain't gonna lie, man, Pacquiao made him look like an amateur. Period. In my opinion, quite possibly Pacquiao won every round. And there's no way you can argue that Bradley won that fight. It's just, and some people like to use the argument, Juan Manuel Marquez and you know, this is what happens to Pacquiao for that last fight. But, you know, honestly, it's just like you can't even really use that argument because the fight was so freaking close that you could have seen it either way. So in this, you can't use the same argument with this fight. You know, it's freaking unreal, man. It's just, I'm such a boxing fan. You know, I grew up watching Roberto Duran, and then Trinidad, more recently Cotto. You know, and it's just like, it's such a spit in my face. It's a spit in all of boxing fans' face. It's a spit on the actual, you know, like the tradition of the sport, the integrity of the sport. It's just a shame, man. It's just, I personally don't even want to watch boxing anymore. It's ridiculous, you know. You never know when something's going to get rigged, you know. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, if somebody's undefeated, you know, and the thing about boxing that makes it so special is that one man works his ass off to get to where he's at. And he can literally carry an entire country on his back. I mean, that's how crazy it is. You know, when Roberto Duran used to fight in Panama, the entire country was a ghost town. Everybody was watching the fight. Nobody, I mean, literally, probably police officers loved the fact that Roberto Duran used to fight because there was no crime on the streets. I mean, everybody was inside watching the fight. I mean, you know, as a fighter, you can have all the glory or you can have all the defeat. You know what I mean? And that's why boxing is so special, because it's like, you know, all eyes are watching. I'm sure that the entire country of the Philippines was just, I mean, just joyed to have seen Pacquiao go in there and outperform Bradley the way that he did. And so, like, disappointed after the results. I mean, how do you do such a monstrosity like that? It's just such a shame, man. This is, personally, I think that, you know, boxing does need some sort of like some sort of person, maybe a commissioner or somebody that like regulates, you know, to ensure that the integrity of the sport is upkept, that somebody keeps it. All right, because there's too many freaking millions of dollars, you know, flowing in this sport. You know, like Pacquiao himself made $26 million just for this fight, guarantee. Just recently, Mayweather made 32, broke the record. All right, you know, there's too many millions of dollars that is being made off of just 12 rounds. You know what I mean? And, you know, at a time when the economy freaking sucks. All right, how do you know, it's just, it's such a shame. You know, it's just like, there has to be some sort of governing body that ensures that the integrity of the sport is upkept, and that the real winner of the fight wins, because it's ridiculous now. It's just like, I'm not going to watch the rematch, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not interested, because I am interested, but I'm not going to do it on purpose, because this is ridiculous now. It's a shame, man. Just a damn shame. Anyway, Pacquiao won that fight. Period.